where is it? The Lord Chaitanya explained. There's a verse called the Atmarama Verse, and it says here that there can be many different legitimate meanings of each text. Lord Chaitanya illustrated this by giving 61 different
we
meanings.
Understand Lord Chaitanya, we understand that Acharyas. We're talking about you yourself. You're reading this now. You're saying we have to discuss from different angles. So now let's get an example going and let's see your angle and then have a discussion on that.
Yeah, sure. One thing I was talking about was I shared a quote there the other day about devotees can be as good as pure. If devotees are as good as pure when they follow the spiritual master, and Prabhupada even said they are pure. If you are following the spiritual master, you are pure. And
insofar as you're following the spiritual master.
Yeah, and you said to me, Prabhu, that it was honorific, that it was only honorific, and honorific means kind of not practical, but it is. He made it as a practical example because he said your work becomes as good as pure as well. It wasn't just honorific. He was saying your work literally becomes as good as pure. The whole example was around work. It was around the example of a workman working under a master. And he's not expert because he works under the master. His work becomes equal to the master.
When a sculptor like Michelangelo is carving a sculpture and he has helpers chipping away with their hammers and chisels, they're not deciding the shape of David or whoever Michelangelo is carving. They're just chipping away extra stuff that's in the way so that Michelangelo doesn't have to do it himself. He comes in and does the finishing touches, creates the final shape.
But it's the effect that was that he was pointing to, was from my angle of seeing anyway. He was pointing to the effect is that their work still comes out functional at the end of it. So in terms of us discussing Shiksha gurus, we were discussing like, if someone is a Shiksha guru, then if he's giving instructions, it's as good as the pure devotee's instructions. So long as he's not deviating, it's the same thing.
Well,
I mean, when we were discussing Shiksha gurus a few days ago, you were saying that only an Uttama Adhikari can be a guru. That means Shiksha and Diksha. That's what I heard from yourself.
And Ramachandra can explain that to you right now. So go ahead, Ramachandra.
Sure, yeah.
Ramachandra, okay. You're muted. You're muted.
Okay. Yeah. So what happened was I sent you the email. I mean, not an email, the WhatsApp. So you can take a look at that.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at that.
Yeah, sure. There's many verses here.
Okay, let's start with the first one. Let me load it up.
So one of these verses, it says in the Nectar of Devotion, he comes out as the spiritual master, Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru. So there's no difference between Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru. And Krishna manifests himself externally as Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru. Prabhupada Guru, Krishna Kripa, Paya Bhakti Lata Bij. We have to acquire this energy through the mercy of Guru and Krishna. So Krishna is within as Chaita Guru. And when we are serious, and so that's one from the Nectar of Devotion. According to the Shastric injunctions, there is no difference between Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru, and generally the Shiksha Guru later on becomes the Diksha Guru. Okay,
yes.
Guru, the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 8:128. Shiksha Guru, the spiritual master who first gives information about the spiritual life, is called Vartma. Shiksha Guru, factually, the qualifications of a spiritual master depend on his knowledge of the science of Krishna, and he can become a spiritual master as Vartma Pradaksha Guru, Diksha Guru, or Pradaksha Guru. The spiritual master who initiates according to the regulations of the Shastras is called the Diksha Guru. There's another one, letter to Dayananda. The spiritual master is divided into two parts, namely Shiksha and Diksha Guru. So officially, Bhakti Vinod Thakur was like Shiksha Guru of Gorakishore Das Babaji. the next one is questions and answers. Prabhupada, no, because Gaura Kishore Das was treating Bhaktivinoda Thakur as the Shiksha Guru, preceptor Guru. So it is in this line. There's only 3 more. I think you said to me, Prabhu, there was 35 of them or something like this. Is this not?
No, it's not 35 quotes.
Okay, well, yeah, the lecture one says there cannot be 2. This is Guru. Another place it is said, so Guru is 1. Guru cannot be 2. As soon as you find 2 opinions of Guru, either both of them are rascals, or one is still at least a rascal. Okay, letter to Shivananda. Externally as Shiksha Guru, as instructor is Diksha Guru, initiator. So the principle is that whenever you are instructed by the Chaita Guru internally, may be confirmed by the instructor Guru or initiator help us as spiritual master in 2 ways. He helps us from within his Chaita Guru, and he expands himself. Room conversation. If you like indistinct microphone moving. So then he is Diksha Guru. So Shiksha Guru becomes Diksha Guru. Guru means one who knows the signs of Krishna and teaches properly. That's all. Okay, in those I didn't see any. Narayana Prabhu the other day said to me that there is one quote which says that a Shiksha Guru must be a resident of Vaikuntha Loka, or
we found
Krishna
that
Loka.
in a different
Krishna
search.
Loka.
Do you remember that, Ramachandra? We found that in a different search.
Well, I have something like you said that they can only be Uttama Adhikaris, but like
yes.
But the thing is, like I've found quotes that say that like a Madhyam Adhikari can also give Krishna, like that he gives Krishna to people.
So can a non-initiated meat eater give Krishna to people? No. A person who's eating a hamburger of cow flesh can give Krishna to someone if he teaches them to chant Hare Krishna.
No, but this was actually in the quote that it was a distinction. Well, from what I saw in the quote, it was a distinction that separated the Madhyam from the Kanishta. He was actually able to, it was one of the qualifications. He was able to distribute Krishna.
The Madhyam, we're not talking Madhyam and Kanishta. We're talking Shiksha and Diksha, right?
Yeah, but there's other quotes. There's quotes that link the Madhyam also. Like there's quotes that say that the second class devotees.
We're not talking about Madhyam Adhikari. That's a whole different category.
Well, we were talking about Uttama Adhikaris, and you were saying that they.
Uttama Adhikari is different than a Madhyam Adhikari.
I know.
There's no way to. The Madhyam Adhikari is not yet in his rasa with Krishna. Therefore, he is a bridge. He's bridging between the ISKCON Kanishta Adhikari level and the Prabhupada Uttama Adhikari level. In between is Madhyam Adhikari level, and that is a very precise way of entering into your rasa with Krishna.
Right. But the reason I'm talking about Madhyam Adhikari is because you said that only Uttama Adhikaris can be gurus, but I've found a number of quotes that say that second class devotees can also be gurus.
And what is the outcome?
Oh, the outcome.
Can you quote the quotes?
Sure, yeah, I'll read one here. It's from hold on. As stated, this is from Srimad Bhagavatam, book 2, chapter 3, verse 21. As stated herein before, there are 3 kinds of devotees of the Lord. The first class devotee does not see anyone who is not in the service of the Lord, but the second class devotee makes distinctions between devotees and non-devotees. The second class devotees are therefore meant for preaching work, and as referred in the above verse, they must loudly preach the glories of the Lord. The second class devotee accepts disciples from the section of third class or non-devotees. Sometimes the first class devotee also comes down to the category of the second class devotee for preaching work. So it's saying here that second-class devotees do accept disciples
But
from.
what else does it say? It says that that the disciple must be on the same level as the initiator, and that the initiated disciple cannot make very much advancement on the insufficient guidance.
Well,
That
no,
Prabhupada, Rupa Goswami says that clearly in the Nectar of Instruction. Ramachandra, do you think you could produce that quote from the?
yeah, I have it here already.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Nectar of Instruction, verse 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, he says that in this verse, Srila Rupa Goswami advises the devotee to be intelligent enough to distinguish between Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, and Uttama Adhikari. The devotee should also know his own position and should not try to imitate the devotee situated on a higher platform. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given us some practical hints to the effect that an Uttama Adhikari Vaishnav can be recognized by his ability to convert many fallen souls to Vaishnavism. One should not become a spiritual master unless he has attained the platform of Uttama Adhikari. A neophyte Vaishnav or Vaishnav situated on the intermediate platform can also accept disciples, but such disciples must be on the same platform, and it should be understood that they cannot advance very well toward the ultimate goal of life under his insufficient guidance. Therefore, a disciple should be careful to accept an Uttama Adhikari as a spiritual master. Yeah, so he is. I knew this verse when you were saying it, and
Yes,
I'm aware that he said.
You seem to disagree with that verse. So what part?
No,
do you
I
disagree with?
don't disagree, because in my view, what I've read from Prabhupada and seen in these other quotes, I have other quotes as well that I've read recently, and they seem to point to that in this verse he is saying that this is an instruction for, like, it's an instruction for Madhyama Adhikaris and Kanishta Adhikaris should not accept disciples independent of the spiritual master. Like, they should not independently
What?
accept their own disciples.
Where does it say that?
Well, I'll give you another quote where
Can
it
you
says
say a
the
quote
contrary.
that
It says the
says they
contrary.
can under the guidance of the spiritual
I'll share
master?
a quote.
That's
I'll share
complete
a quote.
concoction.
I'll share a quote with you now. And
Ramachandra, can you handle this conversation?
you asked me where does it say it, and I was about to respond to
So
you.
go ahead.
Yeah. So I'll share a quote with you now, and it's from the Easy Journey to Other Planets, and it doesn't say directly what was said there. It says it in the opposite way, and what it says is that a candidate who is it talks about the spiritual master, the spiritual master, and then it says that a candidate, the candidate must be prepared to satisfy the spiritual master in every way. A bona fide spiritual master who is fully cognizant of the methods of spiritual science, learned in the spiritual scriptures, such as the Bhagavad Gita, Vedanta, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Upanishads, and who is also a realized soul who has made a tangible connection
realized soul.
Yeah, who has made a tangible connection with the Supreme Lord, is the transparent medium by which the willing candidate is led to the path of the Vaikunthas. The spiritual master must be satisfied in all respects, because simply by his good wishes, the candidate can make wonderful progress along the path. Number 13, he must not take on unlimited disciples. So this means that a candidate who has successfully followed the first 12 items can also become a spiritual master himself, just as a student.
You're saying that someone who's not an Uttama Adhikari can become a spiritual master.
Yeah, it says this means that a candidate who has successfully followed the first 12 items can also become a spiritual master, just as a student.
What are the first 12 items?
Yeah, well, let us get the easy journey. Let me just open the easy journey and I can read it. But I'll finish reading it first before we do that. This means that a candidate who has successfully followed the first 12 items can also become a spiritual master himself, just as a student becomes a monitor in a class with a limited number of disciples. So this is a limited, not a liberated, but a limited spiritual master. And this is a different type of spiritual master, which I was alluding to the other day when we spoke about the May 28th conversation. And who's saying to become a guru on his behalf as a monitor in a class is not actually the teacher, but he's actually just monitoring the students on behalf of the teacher. So he's like an intermediary teacher. Which
did any of them ever agree to do that?
Say again?
Did any of them ever agree to do that?
Well, yeah, that was in the May 28th conversation. It seems to be that people were agreeing, and Prabhupada was saying, when I'm not present.
Then a couple of months later, when they wrote the July 9th letter, that's May, June, July, they wrote the July 9th letter, were they still agreeing to do that?
I don't get what you're saying, really. What do you mean, were they agreeing?
Explain, please.
Were they still agreeing to do that? Oh, you mean, did they carry that out? No, they didn't.
Well, so where's the value?
Well, the thing is, you were saying to us that only Uttamadhikaris can be gurus, but it says here that Madhyamadhikaris can also accept disciples, and like
no, not for themselves.
Not for themselves. That's the difference that I gave you. Okay. I said that it wasn't for themselves. If you're a college
professor, you can have several aides helping your class.
Yeah, that's what I said. On a person on his behalf.
So who cares? You're not going to get your degree from the aides. You get your degree from the teacher, the professor.
I know. I made that point the other day when we discussed the May 28th conversation. I said to you, you're getting the Diksha from Prabhupada, and these people are only on his behalf. And you disagreed, and that's why I brought it up again.
We have 5 minutes left.
Where's Ramachandra? He's supposed to be handling this conversation.
I'm here.
Well, why are you handling it? You're supposed to be handling the conversation.
Well, let's handle it then. What needs handling?
What needs handling is like, this is the thing. I was saying to you that this was disagreed upon, that there could be a type of guru who's a Madhyamadhikari. And I said like that someone could be a guru on Prabhupada's behalf. A Madhyamadhikari could be a Shiksha guru on Prabhupada's behalf. And Prabhu disagreed that Madhyamadhikaris could be gurus and that there was anyone to be a guru on Prabhupada's behalf. But there are quotes here that are saying like there's monitor gurus who work on behalf of the spiritual master.
Have you ever met a Madhyamadhikari?
That's not what we were talking about, whether it's possible.
We're talking about Madhyamadhikaris being gurus, so what? There aren't any. Where are they?
But we were discussing whether it was possible. You said it wasn't possible.
Are you saying, is it possible for Prabhupada to give a class and for someone who had some partial grasp of what Prabhupada was saying to be able to help people try to understand what he himself does not fully understand? And the answer is yes. It's called a senior devotee. And anyone who's been in the movement, I gave the example of Mr. John, joined less than a year before I did, and he sat down to show me. I wanted to know what is the scriptures. He said, we are reading the Srimad Bhagavatam. He couldn't pronounce Srimad Bhagavatam. He said Srimad, but he was my Shiksha guru, okay, in your world.
But also, this is going even further to say that, like, and that not only just to give class, but to accept disciples. Like,
so where does it say that?
it says here the second class devotee accepts disciples from the section of third class devotees or non-devotees. Sometimes the first class devotee also comes down to the category of the second class devotee for preaching work. So, and it also in the Easy Journey, it says that just as he can have a limited number of disciples, just as a student becomes a monitor in a class with a limited number of disciples. So he can have a limited number of disciples.
Have you found that to be implemented in ISKCON?
No, that in ISKCON they took Diksha instead of being monitor gurus. They took Diksha and they took their own disciples and cut Prabhupada out of the equation.
Yeah. So who would be the initiating spiritual master of the student guru? He initiates in behalf of his guru, right?
Yeah. He initiates on behalf.
So his guru would be the spiritual master, and the person acting in behalf of the guru would not be the active guru of the disciple.
No, because he's a monitor.
We have 1 minute.
Yeah, he's only a monitor guru, so the teacher is still the one giving Diksha.
And who takes on the karma?
Well, the teacher does, but yeah, this was...
No, who's the teacher? The Shiksha guru? The
Diksha
Madhyamadikari
guru
takes on the karma of the people that he initiates?
No, but they're still considered. Yeah, well, as the point of the contention was that, or well, it shouldn't be contention, but the point that was being discussed was that these people are gurus, that they're actually gurus, like they're actually considered a guru.
So guru means takes on your karma. Does the assistant guru take on your karma?
No.
Okay, it's 10 o'clock.
Then he's not a guru. We have to go a couple of more minutes.
Oh.
If he doesn't take on your karma, what is the point of calling him guru? You could call him Boy Scout leader.
There's another verse that states that when it's not that he's not guru. He's not the guru. He's a guru. Like as in Prabhupada said,
you're making this up.
No, I'm not, because
where does it say a guru?
Yeah, because Prabhupada said that
show me the quote
acharya,
where it says a guru.
Yeah, there's Prabhupada said that
it's already clear. Prabhupada said Kanishta and Madhyam can initiate, and then it should be on the same level. So what is the difficulty? They can initiate, so I don't see the difficulty. Prabhupada is saying you can take it, but therefore initiation must be so you can take that, and then you're going to have insufficient guidance.
Well, Ronald, the difference is that if they do it on their own, they do it on their own, and they take the karma of the person on their own. But if they're doing it as a monitor for Prabhupada, then Prabhupada's taking the karma, so it's not a bad situation. That's not a
who did Prabhupada accept in that role that they should be the ones to do that?
There was.
Who did Prabhupada say, you initiate, I will take the karma?
Sorry, Ronald.
Who did he say that to?
Yeah, I didn't know. Sorry, I was trying to answer your first point. You said where did he say this thing of the guru and a guru? And he made it in a few different places. There's a good video I can share with you in the chat. And he spoke about acharya, and like Prabhupada was the acharya, but then he spoke about how he wanted many acharyas, and so there's acharyas plural, and then there's the acharya singular, just as Shiksha guru can be many, and the Diksha guru is one. So he spoke about many acharyas, many Shiksha gurus.
I know, and when Prabhupada was asked by Tamal Krishna about that, he said yes, but and Prabhupada said one small issue, or whatever he said, and what's an issue is one small consideration is qualification. So if you're not pure devotee, how can you become an assistant guru without deluding the person you initiate?
Because you're accepted as good as pure if you're following the pure devotee. So if you're
Even if
accepted
you're not
as good as
pure.
pure, if you're accepted as good as pure, then your instructions and everything you give, if you are one of these people, then your instructions and everything you give will be functional, and they will not be a bad thing for people, because
Even if they do not 100% agree with the spiritual master.
no, it's because Prabhupada said that as long as one is, even though one may be imperfect, as long as one is following, he is 100% perfect. So it's only as far as he is following.
Okay, but this is a thing where I would say that you have made a misconception that I could, if you're willing, to easily clear up.
I'd like to share one quote, because you raised a point, and the quote is that when the spiritual master is not present, then that the Shiksha guru should be accepted as good as the spiritual master. He should be accepted as the spiritual master. Why? But
if he's not a pure devotee, why?
Why? Because it's the monitor in the class should be
it's a religious thing.
The reason is that the monitor in a class, the monitor in the class should be respected as good as the teacher in order to keep order.
And if the teacher dies,
the teacher is not present,
the monitor gives you your degree.
No,
does the monitor give you your degree?
That's not what it said. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that he's. It doesn't say that he is as good as the teacher. It simply says that he should be accepted as good as the teacher. So accepted
as good as the teacher. Then the teacher dies, and you said, I'm supposed to accept you as good as the teacher. Then does that mean that the assistant gives you your degree?
No.
So then what's it? It's all pointless.
No, it's not pointless, because he should still be accepted as good as the teacher. That's the point. Like, to keep
if I could clarify one thing, which I would like to clarify, if you were willing. And that is, anybody who sits in a class and hears that Krishna is God, if he gives a talk to some new person that came, not sitting on a Vyasa, but somebody comes in the door and he convinces him that Krishna is God, that does not make him a guru. That simply means he's repeating the words of the guru. But yet, then Prabhupada says that is as good as the guru speaking. But you have to understand it's very contextual. If the guru says Krishna is God, and you say Krishna is God, that doesn't mean you're self-realized and doesn't make you a guru. But it does mean that insofar as you are accurately saying that Krishna is God, then that's the same as the pure devotee, and it can be seen as a pure instruction. But that doesn't make you pure. It just means insofar as you've agreed that Krishna is God, that is a pure instruction. You see the distinction? Otherwise, it turns into a humanoid mess.
But he's still
entrails and genitals and sweat and pus and blood. But we don't need all of that.
He was saying that like the Shiksha guru should be accepted as good as the as good as the spiritual, like accepted as a spiritual master. That's what he used. So
who said that?
There's the spiritual master, and then there's a spiritual master, and it doesn't say that the Shiksha guru doesn't say that the Shiksha guru.
In the Shastras, it's a question: where is the Shiksha guru a resident? Prabhupada says Krishna Loka. What do you say?
Well, if he's a Madhyamadikari, I guess he can be a resident of Krishna Loka also, if he's giving Krishna.
No, he can't. A Madhyamadikari is the bridge between Kanista and Uttama. He's not in Krishna Loka.
What's the qualification of someone who's in Krishna Loka? Because there's
Uttama Adhikari, like Prabhupada or Bhaktisiddhanta. He has to be in this rasa with Krishna. Reciprocal. Not just that he's waving a fan at Krishna. Krishna has to be part of has to be a complete integrated part. The word rasa means your relationship with Krishna is an integrated interaction, not just you going there and waggling incense at Krishna, and he says, "Oh, thank you."
Is the quote you're using saying the spiritual master must be a resident of Krishna Loka?
What?
Is the quote
The
you're referring
Uttama,
to?
or we're talking about Kanista, and we're talking about Uttama Adhikari, the Shiksha and Diksha Guru must both be residents of Krishna Loka. Is there any part of that that's hard to understand?
Where is the quote for context?
Well, look it up. We found it. I don't know, maybe Ramachandra has it. Ramachandra, do you remember it?
What quote are you guys talking about? I have a question from online. That's what I was reading. So that's why. What were you guys talking about? What quote?
The resident of Krishna Loka quote.
Oh, yeah. Prabhupada says that it's there. Otherwise, he'll simply create disturbance. Yes. Okay, I'll find it. Simply create disturbance. Hold on.
You were reading a question from someone? Are you going to share that?
Simply create. I think it was one.
Gregory Prabhu, your thinking is very much like a Jesuit.
Well, thank you, Prabhu. I don't know much about the Jesuits. I'm sure you've given me some compliment, like they're very educated or something. I don't know, like.
Well, the
here it is.
intellectual branch of the priesthood of Catholicism.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean by that exactly, but yeah.
Well, you have a very keen ability to find intellectualizations of ideas that are essentially based on bhakti. So go ahead, Ramachandra.
Okay, this is from a letter to Mukunda, New Vrindavan, June 10, 1969. The answer to your iṣṭa-goṣṭhī questions are as follows. Unless one is a resident of Krishna Loka, one cannot be a spiritual master. That is the first proposition. A layman cannot be a spiritual master, and if he becomes so, then he will simply create disturbance. And who is that liberated person? One who knows Krishna. It's pretty simple, yeah?
So a liberated.
Where's the part that says that both the Shiksha and Diksha gurus must be residents of Krishna Loka? I know we found it.
Oh, I'm not. I don't remember that one, but I remember this one.
Well, this one is excellent.
Unless one is a resident of Krishna Loka, one cannot be a spiritual master. That is the first proposition. A layman cannot be a spiritual master, and if he becomes one, so then he will simply create disturbance.
But a layman is a person who is not even like a Kanishta Adhikari or outside a non-devotee. Is it not?
Well, it's saying unless one is a resident of Krishna Loka, one cannot be a spiritual master. That is the first proposition.
But like perfect. How do you say? Prabhupada said that like a resident of Krishna Loka is someone who's perfect, right?
No, a resident of Krishna Loka is someone who is in a reciprocal relationship, loving exchange with Krishna, that Krishna likes and that the devotee likes, and they create a mutual exchange known as a rasa. That rasa means loving exchanges, just like Mother Yasoda and Krishna is loving exchanges.
Well, your earlier definition was that an Uttamadhikari is a perfect, liberated person, and that's a resident of Krishna Loka.
That he's you cannot be a perfect, liberated person without being a resident of Krishna Loka.
And Prabhupada
Why?
said,
Do you think there's an earthly Krishna Loka where ordinary people become Uttamadhikaris?
No, but the thing is, Ronald was saying that you can't become a spiritual master unless you're a resident of Krishna Loka. And
correct.
But Prabhupada was saying that if one is following someone who's perfect, your work is considered perfect, and you can do the work of that. Like you can do the work.
But that does not give you a hat to wear. That just means if the spiritual master said Krishna is God and appeared in Vrindavan 5,000 years ago, then you, Gregory, say Krishna is God and he appeared in Vrindavan 5,000 years ago. That's what that shloka means. Does that make you a guru? Well, insofar as you've told the truth, yes, you're the guru because you've repeated the truth. But how many people can retreat? How many people say nothing but the truth?
Yeah,
you have to be a liberated soul to say nothing but the truth.
And that was my the original thing I spoke to you many days ago about the May 28th. I was saying that they're not actually the guru, they're a guru on behalf of Prabhupada.
But are they perfect?
A type of guru, a sort of a guru.
So are you a guru on behalf of Prabhupada?
And
you're doing a better job than they were. You're more of a guru than they were, okay?
Anybody who repeats exactly what he says it's functional, like they become an acharya, and that's how it works.
So you're an acharya.
And yeah, it's not the acharya. It's
okay. It's not the.
You're the one with the distinction, grammatical distinctions. I'm talking about the content. Content is if you're a resident of Krishna Loka and you speak like Prabhupada, and if I or you repeat what Prabhupada said, that's as good as what Prabhupada said. But it doesn't give you a dunce cap to wear as a acharya. It just means you're repeating what the spiritual master said without making any significant change.
No change.
No change? Of course there'd be a change. You're not a liberated soul. If you're not a pure devotee, when you repeat the spiritual master, you'll be repeating it from a non-liberated point of view. But the data will be the same. The message is the same. But the point of view, the consciousness, the realization is a million miles apart. You see? But we shouldn't be so attached to trying to be perfect when we're not perfect. Imperfectly perfect or perfectly imperfect.
But it was never about being perfect. It was about being accepted as good as perfect, or to be functioning in a role that would.
If you're accepted as good as perfect, that's known as a rascal if you're not perfect.
No, that's what Prabhupada requested.
No, cheater. Prabhupada was very clear on a million occasions that if a person is saying the words of the spiritual master, claiming that now that makes him spiritual master, he's a cheater. He's cheating. He's claiming that which he cannot be or support.
But that quote that we read the other day said that even though his work is accepted as good as perfect, that's the thing.
Yes.
So he's
just like when Prabhupada's books were transcribed from tapes, the typist is not a pure devotee.
But he also said that the person is also. He said you are also.
Insofar as the typist typed accurately what Prabhupada said, which sometimes the typist didn't understand what Prabhupada said, insofar as the typist typed accurately, then that's as good as Prabhupada, right? We're talking about a woman typist who was shooting methadone 2 years ago.
Yeah, but he said clearly that when you're following a pure devotee, you are also pure. So
your actions are pure.
No, but he actually said.
But do you know what happened? Where all the failing of the ISKCON gurus came from? Exactly what you were saying.
But
the ISKCON gurus were saying, I'm repeating what Prabhupada said, therefore I'm pure.
Yeah, well, he clarified it that it was only once you're following. This is the thing. He clarified.
Nobody's following. How can you follow? If Krishna is a coward boy, if Prabhupada is a coward boy in Krishna Loka, how much of coward boy are you following?
Well,
you're thinking of the spiritual master as a student, as a professor in a college. He's not. He's a resident of Krishna Loka, which means he's in a rasa with Krishna, which means he's a coward boy, he's a gopi, he's a friend.
But Prabhupada said what Prabhupada said in his words here in this quote from the lecture in Los Angeles, he said, so if you follow a pure devotee, then you're also a pure devotee. It may not be 100% pure.
Yes.
Because we are trying to raise ourselves.
Yes.
From
But
the
you should not then
life.
take it upon yourself to call yourself a pure devotee.
But he's let me finish. Please let me finish reading this quote, because it's all together in one piece of context. So
go ahead.
It's like this quote. So I'll read it, start again so you can hear it all. So if you follow pure devotee, then you're also a pure devotee. It may not be 1% pure, because we are trying to raise ourselves from the conditional life. But if we strictly follow the pure devotee, then we are also pure devotee. So far we do, that is pure. So
yes, and you've seen that. Actually,
he's making the point that once you're under the wing of a pure devotee, you're also pure. As long as you're under that wing, you're pure. But as soon as you walk outside of that shelter, then you're not.
So you're claiming that you are a pure devotee.
No, that's the thing. He didn't say that you're.
Don't contradict yourself. If that's true, then you, Gregory, are a pure devotee.
Well, you see, then he goes further. He goes further, and he says, so pure devotee does not mean one who has become immediately 100% pure. But if he sticks to the principle that will follow a pure devotee, then his actions are, he is as good as a pure devotee.
Yeah, insofar as you perfectly follow what you understand to be the instruction of the spiritual master, that makes you as good as the spiritual master. That's easier to understand, as well as it's quite obvious. That does not give you any chair covered with red velvet to sit on.
No, but that's the ISKCON thing of accepting Diksha.
And it's the Christian Loka thing. If you cannot present yourself as a Diksha guru if you're not a pure devotee, but you can represent the pure devotee by speaking what he says. ISKCON is full. Every single one of those fake gurus believed exactly what you're saying. And did it work out in the end, would you say?
If they believed exactly what they were saying, what I'm saying would be corrupt then, because they took it to mean they could take to be a Diksha guru. But
in behalf of Prabhupada, maybe?
Yeah, they took it to mean that
they didn't. Why can't, if they are that advanced, why can't they be successor guru?
That wasn't what they believed,
though.
That wasn't what they believed, though, because none of them were following. You see, so they didn't really.
They said they were. They thought they were.
No, but that's said and thought. It doesn't mean that they were. That's what they were believing. They didn't believe.
Who is the judge and jury? Who evaluates whether they're following or not?
Well, Krishna, it's obvious. Like if someone was following.
So, but Krishna sat back and watched them claim to be guru, didn't he? So what did Krishna do about
it? I don't get
nothing, right?
Well,
Krishna actually gave them the intelligence of how to poison Srila Prabhupada, because that's what they wanted to do. And Paramatma always gives you what you want.
Yeah,
I think you're taking that idea. Anyone, supposing, do you have any children?
No.
Okay, but if you had a son and you tell him, son, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Then your son, 4 years old, someone asks him, what do you know about the sun? And your son says, it rises in the east and it sets in the west. So he's a pure devotee in terms of you, isn't he? because he repeated what you said. Does that mean that he knows this entire science of astronomy? No, obviously not, right?
Hare Krishna, Vashish in the house. Long time no see. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Prabhupada. All glories to assembled
Jai.
devotees. Hare Krishna.
Jai,
No, we were just talking about you today. So Ramachandra,
Oh,
can
really?
you take over the conversation and be the lead talker of this conversation, please?
We have a talker, Vashish, on, so he can take over.
Well, you
What?
too, but you're the chairman of the board.
No, I'm not chilling.
I'm nobody.
Yes, Vashish Prabhu. What's going on? You've been listening or what?
Someday I've been listening.
So
Though not,
what do you want to
I-
comment on tonight's discussion? You've probably been hearing or
Actually, I've been hearing the 3 hours discussion also along with Prabhu Nityananda and Prabhu Greg. Yeah, Prabhu Greg is trying to tell something about the Shiksha and Diksha gurus. And you also just presented one slide, one quote where Prabhupada I think it was a letter, I think, about the Diksha Guru be a resident of resident of Krishna Loka. Can you please put that quote? We'll read it. You know what? Sometimes it happens that we talk for hours, but it's just our mental concoction that we are putting in. Okay, we have hardly understood some concept, and just like half-baked knowledge, like we say, half-baked.
right here. Here's the quote. Vashish, you can read it.
Thanks, but I can hardly say it. It says the answer. Okay, let's put it in the beginning. We can read it very nicely. Otherwise, because it's very small, like it's in my mobile. Can you put it since the?
Should I read it? I can read it.
Ramchandra, can you please put from the beginning of the letter? It's
beginning of the
letter, yeah. Just we read this quote, this particular quote, this particular letter. We just analyze it. We try to analyze it very well. Yeah. Let's read it. My dear Mukunda. Okay?
Yes, go ahead.
My dear Mukunda, please accept my blessings. I thank you very much for your letter of June 3rd, 1969. And I have noted the contents carefully. Regarding Mataji Shamadevi's temple in Leicester, your version is all right, and I am not very interested to establish a Hindu temple. Perhaps you know from the very beginning, I never described my movement as Hindu religion. Religion means the bona fide process by which we understand God, and the first class religion is that which teaches people to develop love for God. To know or accept the authority of God is one thing, but to love God is another. Generally, people are interested in material comforts and they make God as the supplying agent. This kind of devotion is not purified. It is contaminated by material desires. But when one is elevated to a position of giving everything to God out of love and affection, that is a first-class position. We are teaching this philosophy in the name of Krishna consciousness, and it is applicable to all sober persons. The Bhagavad principle is that because we can be happy simply by developing our dormant love of God. This is our first business. Very nice. I understand. Okay, where is it? I understand what you have now. 3 houses under consideration. 2 of them are immediately available, but one requires some money. Why don't you pay the money? What is the amount? If you are short of money and the house is very nice, then we can arrange for the money. You have stated that Mr. George Harrison will be seeing the Archbishop for granting us a church. And that is a very nice idea. But so far, I see Mr. Harrison promised so many things which was not fulfilled. Practically, so instead of waiting for the church, if you can get one of the 3 houses now under considerations, that will be better. The Sankirtan movement is going on even with no house. So there's no cause of lamentation. You must go on with the Sankirtan selling our literature. Never mind there is temple or not. I'm very pleased that you have already sold 1,000 Bhakti Godheads, and I assume that it will not be too difficult for you to sell 5,000 magazines. That will solve part of your financial problems. Now the interesting part. The answer to your iṣṭa-goṣṭhī questions are as follows. Unless one is a resident of Krishna Loka, one cannot be a spiritual master. What is the first proposition? A layman cannot be a spiritual master. And if he becomes so, he will simply create disturbance. And who is a liberated person? One who knows Krishna. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, anyone who knows Krishna in truth is immediately liberated. And after quitting the present body, he immediately goes to Krishna. That means he becomes a resident of Krishna Loka. As soon as one is liberated, he is immediately a resident of Krishna Loka. And anyone who knows the truth of Krishna can become a spiritual master. It is a version of Lord Chaitanya. So to summarize the whole thing, it is to be understood that a bona fide spiritual master is a resident of Krishna Loka. Your next question. Your next question, whether the spiritual master was formerly a conditioned soul. Actually, a bona fide spiritual master is never a conditioned soul. There are three kinds of liberated persons. Listen to this very well. Sometimes reading isolated statements, like most of us have been doing earlier, okay, months back. This is very dangerous. We should read the whole thing. There are many things about liberation. What is what is liberation? Who is a liberated person? Purport will answer this now. Your next question, whether the spiritual master was formerly a conditioned soul. Actually, a bona fide spiritual master is never a conditioned soul. There are three kinds of liberated persons. Most important thing, there are three kinds of liberated persons. They are called sadhana siddha, kripa siddha, and nitya siddha. Sadhana siddha means one who has attained perfection by executing the regulative principles of devotional service. Kripa siddha means one who has attained perfection by special mercy of Krishna and the spiritual master. And nitya siddha means one who was never contaminated. The symptoms of nitya siddha is that from the beginning of his life, he's attached to Krishna and he's never tired of rendering service to Krishna. So we have to know what is what by these symptoms. But when one is actually on the siddha platform, there's no such distinction as who is sadhan, kripa, and nitya siddha. When one is siddha, there's no distinction what is what. Just like when the river water glides down the Atlantic Ocean, nobody can distinguish which portion was a Hudson River or some other river. Neither is there any necessity to make any such distinction. Very important for that. Neither is there necessity to make any such distinction. Actually, every living entity is eternally uncontaminated. Actually, he may be in the same material touch. This is a version of the Vedas. Asanga ayam purusha. The living entity is uncontaminated. Just like when there is a drop of oil in water, you can immediately distinguish the oil from the water. And the water never mixes with oil. Similarly, a living entity, although in material contact, is always distinct from the matter. It's over? Have you been listening to me or what? Are you listening? What are you doing?
Amazing.
You are correct when you say that when the spiritual master speaks, it should be taken that Krishna is speaking. But it's a fact. The spiritual master must be liberated. It doesn't matter if he has come from Krishna Loka or he is liberated from here. You are correct when you say that when the spiritual master speaks, it should be taken that Krishna is speaking. That is a fact. The spiritual master must be liberated. It doesn't matter if he has come from Krishna Loka or is liberated from here, but he must be liberated. The science of one who is liberated is explained above. But when one is liberated, there's no need of distinction whether he has come directly from Krishna Loka or from the material world. But in the broadest sense, everyone comes from Krishna Loka. When one forgets Krishna, he is conditioned. When one remembers Krishna, he is liberated. When one forgets Krishna, he is conditioned. And when one remembers Krishna, he is liberated. I hope this will clear these points. I hope this will meet you in good health. Chopad
Joy. That is a brilliant exposition of the entire topic that we've been discussing.
In 6 months, isolated statement has been going on. Only the yellow part has been shown, but hardly these free the description, like Prabhupada says in the last paragraph. Okay, there are 3 kinds. Just one paragraph after that. Okay, there are 3 kinds of liberated persons, but we have hardly cared to study these 3 points. But anyway, I knew after some time I will be talking Okay, or I hopefully I was waiting somebody will will tell that okay, we should study the whole thing and other things we should be doing that. And there are many, actually there are many videos which I've been sending Prabhu Greg and Prabhu Ronald and Mataji Rupa Manjari, and even I think to yourself, Prabhu Naranarayan. I've been sending you videos about we should expand to
you sent videos to me? I have not received.
Okay, maybe in the group I've sent in the group earlier, yeah, in the group, not only to you, to the group I've been sending that, but nobody has cared to listen to the video, to study the videos.
Well, I have never seen any. I've never seen.
But that's not my fault. It was
no, it's not my fault either.
No, we were discussing on something where we were having a bone of contention, right? I was trying to, when I sent that video, I said Prabhupada is saying something which most probably I didn't understand it, or you haven't understood it properly, or most of us here, or all of us here have not understood it. So by listening to this video, by hearing this video very carefully, we can reach a better conclusion, because that's the purpose of iṣṭa-goṣṭhī, right? Because by reading sometimes one thing, we may not realize the thing that Prabhupada is actually wanted, is actually when we are reading one sentence or one paragraph, perhaps out of our immaturity, we are not able to comprehend what Prabhupada is telling to us. But if we associate with senior devotees, with more intelligent devotees, or devotees who are more mature or more intelligent than us, who are more advanced than us, then they will be able to shed light on this particular subject matter.
That's why you should come all the time. Why are you coming today? You should come all the time. We're only having 3 days a week.
Sometimes spoon feeding is not too good, man. When you start taking things for granted, so when it's useless, right? Because this is what happens. So
you come every Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday.
No.
That letter to Mukunda is amazing, you know? Doesn't it really clear up everything we've been talking about?
There are many more amazing letters which were sent to you to the group, Prabhu, but I think the whole letters, the many letters which were sent earlier to the group, and the videos which were sent to the group, instead of talking 2 hours, 3 hours, just half an hour only. And the video which was sent, they're only 10 minutes.
Please address this to Ramachandra, because if it was sent to the group, he was the recipient. I've never seen it. So has Ramachandra seen?
I sent to the whole group where I was kicked out. You know what?
I have not received anything.
Here's what you do. Here's the secret. Do you want to know the secret? You come on the show and you tell us, watch this video, and we'll watch it.
Well, where did the video go?
It must be in the group. It is in the group. There are 5, 6 videos.
Bashish, you can send us all the stuff. Unless you come, we will not watch it.
Oh, we don't even know that it exists.
Yes, we don't even know it exists. So that is the thing. You come, you don't have to send us the video. You say, Ronald, you play this video, and I'll play it.
Okay. I'll send you.
Don't send. You come next show.
Next show, it's too late. It's no. Well, we can see only one today. It's 3 minutes video.
Okay, send it. Which one?
Okay, I'll just say it. I'll just say it. You know, there was one video. Craig is here.
Yeah, do you want me to play it now? This
by the way, Bashish, where did you get
that? 10 million video, is it, Prabhu? The expand to 10 million?
Where did you get that letter to Mukunda?
Not expand. The video which I sent you earlier about the 3 minutes video or 4 minutes video where Prabhupada and Madhudvisha Prabhu, Tamal Krishna Goswami is there about where is it, man? See, the thing I'm very bad at technology, man.
Okay. Well, you sent it to me earlier, but today you sent it to me today, is it?
Maybe earlier on the Telegram group.
Okay, let me find.
I'm opening my Telegram. Don't worry, I'm opening it. I'm opening it.
You just give me the title of it, and I'll find it.
Where does Vashish send these videos?
Wait. A long time back, before you
sent them on a WhatsApp group, I think.
No, Telegram group.
No, not to me. Not to me, though.
What's up?
To to them earlier. You sent.
Yeah, I sent to them before you came to know about the group itself, man. Yeah.
Who? Me?
Wait.
Okay, Vashish.
Hold on.
There was no group before we created it.
Be patient.
Yeah.
Be patient. It's
Spiritual
coming.
master. I think it is said spiritual masters each other. Oh, yeah. Spiritual master. Wait, I'll send you. Ronald, I sent you these videos.
Send it to Gregory Prabhu.
You know about the Bible thing and all?
What?
No.
Which
the only thing-
Bible?
Wait. Yeah, I got it. Wait.
What?
Take your time.
Wait.
Take your time.
Ashish, where did you send it?
Wait. Don't worry about when I send it. I sent it earlier also.
Yeah, send it again, then
no?
I'll know which one you're talking about.
No. Okay, I'm sending you again on Telegram.
Where did you send it? To what
And
site?
you can share it again.
What's up?
Greg,
No.
Greg,
What's up?
Greg,
You want me to play it, is it? Because I can
Yeah.
put the microphone and you should be able to hear it. Like, if you want.
not hearing, but it will be nice if we can share the video, put the YouTube thing, and when we can hear it.
Oh, okay. You want to share the whole thing?
Share the whole thing. It will be nice.
Let's do it.
Yeah, we should do it. Today's the day.
So Vashish, you
Hare
come and
Krishna.
show us what we need to hear and read and all that.
It's all about sharing. We have, and I was very surprised. I'm very, very surprised to know about what Narayana Prabhu said today. But or was it today or the other day with Craig? But Hridayananda Das Goswami, the great Hridayananda Das Goswami, Narayana Prabhu is his Vartama Pradashak Guru.
What?
Isn't it?
What are you talking
Is it
about?
Prabhu?
I'm nobody's guru.
No, I think he was
No.
talking about Tamal, Peru. Was it?
You're
not?
my
No.
guru. You're my
Yeah.
guru.
No. Prabhu,
I said that
that.
Tamal was
Hridayananda.
my partner. Tamal convinced me to become a devotee.
Yes,
End of story.
no, Hridayananda Das Goswami, Hridayananda Das.
What?
Hridayananda Das.
Hridayananda was your
Hridayananda. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hridayananda said that I was his partner production group
Jai.
because I convinced him to become a devotee. Tamal
we know
convinced me to become a devotee.
For those who don't know who is Hridayananda Prabhu, Ronald, you know him? You know him?
yeah,
Who is he?
he's your guru.
No, man. He's not my guru.
you asked me, so I can answer.
Hridayananda Das Goswami is the one who is translating the 11 and 12 cantos of Bhagavatam. He is the one who is translating. Actually, he shouldn't be translating it. All the people in ISKCON today, in mainstream devotees, they are reading 12 cantos and 11 cantos because of Hridayananda Das Goswami, because he has translated the 11 and 12 cantos, and he was among the 11 initial senior deviators. Sorry to say that, but this is a history of ISKCON, okay?
That's a nice way of putting it. I like that.
But it's
Vashish is a professional.
No.
Ashish is incredible.
Whatever
fantastic.
I've heard, whatever
He's
I've
the
heard,
best. He's the best.
Ashish,
We
you are
love
very
that face.
high. You are very high on my approval list right now.
Mahaprabhu was glorifying you, Vashish, and you came. So that's a good. So we'll always ask Mahaprabhu to glorify you so you can
Hare
come.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Vashish is the man.
No,
Jai.
nobody's a man.
You're the man.
We all servants. We all servants of the great
Amen.
man.
Amen. Hare Krishna. That's right.
Yeah, we all servants.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah, we all servants. We shouldn't sometimes
Das.
we shouldn't we shouldn't resort to sometimes to comment like this. Okay, means too much glorifying, like, or too much praising someone, especially conditioned soul like us. Okay, we shouldn't be doing that too much. It's not good actually.
I agree. I agree.
Jai Vashish.
Jai. Jai Vashish.
They are great Prabhupada Anugas, great senior devotees, okay, great senior serious disciples of Prabhupada who are silently working. They are expanding the Krishna conscious movement, the Hare Krishna movement, or the SCON.
You're also doing it.
But I'm just doing the insignificant. Nothing I'm doing actually compared to what they are doing. Actually, I'm a product of them only. Okay, but you should understand that.
Okay, where's the video? What are we watching?
Yeah, Craig, can you put watch this? Please?
I don't have the host. Ronald, you'd have to.
No, I gave you the host. No.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay. Hang on a second. I don't know how to. How can you play a YouTube video through Zoom or?
No, just share your screen.
I'll share my screen and use the microphone. It's good. Hopefully you can hear it okay.
Yeah, it should be all right.
Can't you put a YouTube video to play now, Ramchandra? Ramchandra, can you put that? I've shared only Craig, but Craig, can you share that video to Ramchandra and when he will play that from YouTube and when we can see it?
Well,
because
I'm sharing the screen now. It should work.
It's the same thing.
Very nice. and try to put the subtitle. I think if you press CC, wait, put a stop. Press CC. You know this translation, the transcript part on the right top right corner or the bottom right corner. When we can it will be, because sometimes we cannot comprehend what Prabhupada is saying.
I think there's subtitles on the video.
Great. Let's put it since the beginning.
Yeah, I go back. I'm just talking to you because you were saying to put up the transcript, but there's subtitles on the video. So
yeah. Oh, if there's always subtitles, then leave it. It's okay. And it's good.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. I gotta set up the microphone.
Let's put it since beginning. Go.
Yeah. No, hang on a sec. Just let me move things. So it should work.
Yes, that's right. That means. Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam. In many ways, for a Christian to, without the help of a spiritual master, to reach the spiritual sky, through believing in the words of Jesus Christ and trying to follow his teaching. Can a Christian in this age, without a spiritual master, but by reading the Bible and following Jesus' words, reach the sky? When you read Bible, you follow spiritual master. How can you say you don't? As soon as you read Bible, that means you are following the instruction of Lord Jesus Christ. That means you are following spiritual master. So where is this opportunity of being without spiritual master? It is the spiritual master is not the question of spiritual master is eternal. Spiritual master is eternal. So your question is without spiritual master. Without spiritual master, you cannot be at any stage of your life. You may accept this spiritual master or that spiritual master. That is different. But you have to accept. As you say that by reading Bible, when you read Bible, that means you are following the spiritual master represented by some priest or some clergyman in the line of Lord Jesus Christ. So in any case, you have to follow a spiritual master. There cannot be the question without spiritual master. Is that clear?
We couldn't understand the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita without your help, without your presentation.
Similarly, you have to understand Bible with the help of the priest in the church.
Yeah, but if he's receiving a good interpretation from his disciple succession or his bishop, there seems to be some kind of a discrepancy in the interpretation of the Bible. There's many different sects of Christianity that interpret the Bible in different ways.
Of course,
Why are we reading? Why are we reading this? I wonder.
then there is no authority of Bible. If you
What's the point? What's the point in this?
just like call a spade a spade. So if you call something else, that is a different thing. That is, he is not spiritual master. Just like this is watch. Everybody has called it watch, and if I call it spectacle, then what is the value of my spiritual master? I am misleading. It is watch. That I must say. So there is when there is misinterpretation, he is not a bona fide spiritual master. He is not spiritual master. What is called a bona fide? If I want to teach you how to see this watch, I can say that this is called watch, and this is called hand, and this is called time indication. This is this called. So that is nice. And if I say that everybody says it is watch, I say it is spectacle. Then what kind of spiritual master? Rejection, immediate. That intelligence you must have. Who is a pseudo spiritual master or real spiritual master? Otherwise you will be cheated. And that is being done. Everyone is interpreting in his own way. The Bhagavad Gita. There are thousands of editions and they have tried to interpret in their own way. All nonsense. They should be all thrown away. Simply you have to read Bhagavad Gita as it is. Then you will understand. There is no question of interpretation. Then the authority is gone. As soon as you interpret, then there is no authority. Law book. You mean to say in the court, if you say before the judge, my dear Lord, I interpret this passage in this way, will it be accepted? The judge will at once say, who are you to interpret? You have no right. Then what is the authority of this law book? If everyone comes and I interpret in this. And interpretation when required, when a thing is not understood. If I say it is watch, and if everyone understands that it is watch, yes, then what is the opportunity of interpreting that this is spectacle? If anyone can understand the clear passage, that's why in the Bible, God said, let there be creation, and there was creation. So what is the question of interpretation? Yes, God created. You cannot create. So what is the opportunity of interpretation? So unnecessary interpretation is not required, and that is not bona fide, and those who are interpreting unnecessarily, they should be rejected immediately, without any consequence. God said, let there be creation. So there was creation. Simple thing. Where is the question of interpretation? What can be the interpretation here? Suggest that this can be the interpretation. Am I right? In the Bible, beginning of the Bible, it is said like that. God said, let there be creation, and there was creation. So what is your interpretation? Tell me, what is your interpretation? Is there any possibility of interpretation? Can any one of you suggest? And what is the opportunity of interpretation? One can explain, that is different. But the fact that God created, that will remain, that you cannot change. Now, how the creative process took place, that is explained in Bhagavatam. First of all, there was sky, then there was sound, then there was this. This is the process of creation. That is another thing. But the fact, the primary fact that God created, that will remain at any circumstance. Not the rascal scientist says, oh, there was a chunk and it is split up, and there was the planet, perhaps this and likely this, all this nonsense. They will simply interpret it, likely, perhaps. That is not science, likely, perhaps. Why perhaps? Here is clear statement. God created. That's all. Correct?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Greg, you can stop it now. Ramchandra Babu is here. Ramchandra? What happened? Most of you have left what?
What? That was an interesting exercise, but what was the point in it?
Excuse me, Babu?
That was an interesting exercise, but what was the point of it? It didn't seem to quite be on the topic we're dealing with.
Oh, really?
What was the message?
What was the message? I think, Greg, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. But you were the one who shared the video, so you say what was in it.
Can you put it on 0.50 means 50th second.
Oh yeah, you want me to go back to it? Sorry.
Yeah.
What time? What time?
The 50th second. 50th second.
Okay.
Ramchandra is here? No.
The 50th second. Hold on a sec. Yeah. By reading the Bible and following Jesus' words. Is that it?
Yeah, but put it on the screen. We hear Purport.
You realize that it's largely allegorical. Srila Prabhupada had no interest in the Abrahamic religions whatsoever.
That means you're following the instruction of Lord Jesus Christ. That means you're Jesus' words.
Yes.
When you read Bible, you follow spiritual master. How can you say you don't?
Yeah. Let it play.
How many seconds do you want to play?
Actually, Madhudvisha Prabhu has asked Prabhupada a question. All sannyas are great senior disciples at that time, leading disciples. They are working along with Prabhupada, most probably. It's a morning walk conversation or room conversation, whatever. And Madhudvisha Prabhu is asking a question. Tamal Krishna Goswami, Tamal Krishna Prabhu is there. And he will also try to further elaborate the question by Madhudvisha Prabhu. And Prabhupada is trying to explain the principle of spiritual master. Just like because earlier Madhudvisha Prabhu has asked about the Bible, where Lord Jesus Christ apparently is a liberator for all the Christians. And in the same way, Madhudvisha Prabhu will be asking, and the most important question will come at the 2.25 minutes, where 2.25 seconds, where he will ask the Prabhupada, is it, earlier, but just by reading books, sometimes we don't understand the book. If you were not there to explain us, how could we have understood the book? And then see the answers which Prabhupada give to Madhudvisha Prabhu. And the concept of spiritual master also is nice explained. See, Prabhupada uses the word spiritual master interchangeably. Sometimes he is referring to the Diksha Guru, and sometimes he is referring to Shiksha Gurus also. Example, when you if you study if you hear properly this thing, you will say the priest and clergyman. And priest and clergyman, you have to study, you have to understand it from them. That is the teachings of Lord Jesus Christ. You understand from them in the same context. Prabhupada has given us books, but it happens that we don't understand the book sometimes. Okay, due to our clouded mind, we can't understand the books. So what we do, we have to take help from advanced devotees, from advanced from senior devotees. So because what will happen, then they will explain.
You're talking about advanced devotees. Can you produce one?
Oh, one, there are many, Prabhu.
Like who?
Like who?
Name one. Name one.
Name one?
Name one.
There are many actually. Already many devotees.
Not many. One. Name one or three. Name somebody. Not just say blandly there's advanced devotees. Where are they? What are they doing?
What are they doing? They're seriously and sincerely presenting Prabhupada's teachings all over the world.
Oh, are they?
There are many. Have you heard of Hare Krishna movement devotees?
There are many Hare Krishna devotees. They're selling changed books. They have an unelected GBC, and they have Kanista Adhikari gurus. What's the good part?
The good part? No. Whatever the 3 points you said about they are distributing edited books. No, they are devotees who are distributing unedited books. Okay, not edited books, unedited books.
Why is ISKCON distributing edited books? Why does ISKCON have Kanista Adhikaris as gurus?
Excuse me, what's your question?
Why does ISKCON have Kanista Adhikari gurus, and why does ISKCON have a GBC that is not elected?
Yeah,
that's all bogus.
Yeah.
Neither they are advanced, neither they know anyone that's advanced, because if anyone is advanced, they will object.
See, 1 minute. Prabhupada has given us all instructions. We don't. What? I'm not here to judge. Prabhupada has given
shared that you shared that letter to Mukunda was brilliant. Now this is not a brilliant area. This is a very unbrilliant area.
What?
This is a useless area.
What?
It is. It's like Democrats and Republicans.
No, I didn't get you actually. What you're trying to say? Unbrilliant what? I didn't get you.
What I'm saying is that we are not approaching anything that will be useful for delivering the fallen souls in the golden age of Kali. Nor is anything a worthy topic of Istagosthi.
Not a worthy topic of Istagosthi. You know what? Ramchandra Prabhu is not here. Maybe next time when it's already late. I understand it's very late.
Ramachandra is not here. Well, I need to go also. So please accept my most humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah, we'll talk later. Okay. And it will be nice if Nityananda Prabhu also join in, Rupa Manjari Mataji join in, and Mahaprabhu, you also read Prabhupada's books. There are some videos which we can share.
No more books, no more videos about Prabhupada talking about Christianity. He was doing that only for a very limited purpose. Has nothing to do with our movement.
Okay, that's your understanding. But
it is. I understood it because I was associating with Prabhupada during those times.
Maybe later.
And he made it clear. You were not there, were you? If you were not there, then what do you know?
Hare Krishna. Is anyone there? Everyone's left. Okay. Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I believe it's just us now, so I guess that's it for the day because everyone decided to leave.
Wow, that's they decided to leave on their own.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
oh my goodness, it's just me, you and me right now.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's us. Ramachandra's here, but he's gone muted, so perhaps he's taken leave and he's probably gone to do something else.
What happened to Vashish and Narayan?
I don't know. They exited. They've gone. Ramachandra Prabhu, can you hear me?
Hello.
Okay.
That's
yeah,
That's a little bit disrespectful.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know why they left. I'm not sure why they left. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're. I don't know. It sounded like they were. It sounded like Narayan had already said goodbye to people, I think. But I don't know. I think Vashish said goodbye as well to people. So I'm not sure if it was. I think they mutually agreed. So perhaps we can end it here. Unless did you have anything else you'd like to say about this this video that Prabhupada?
I would just like to say Hare Krishna.
Yeah, okay, Prabhu.
That's about it. That's the bottom line. Hare Krishna.
Sure, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. We can continue this some other time. I'm sure they'll all be willing to talk again with each other.
You're in London, England?
No, I'm a little bit further north. Yeah.
All right. Have a fantastic weekend, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. I wish you well and safe travels. And
thank you, Gregory.
Okay, Jai Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We'll connect soon.
Yeah, sure, Prabhu.
All right. Have a great day or night or whatever it is over there.
Thank you. I wish you a good day and a good evening also. Hare Krishna.
Amen. Hare Krishna.
Jai. Hare Bo.
Jai.